Alright, so this is a crazy thing that I read today. And it's about an immigrant woman. She was born, I think, in the United States. Don't remember the exact details. But ICE, the people that deport people, that's their job. They deport people. They almost deported an immigrant woman. And she says she got unwanted surgery while detained. And I was like, what the fuck? And so I read into it, and she basically got a gynecological like procedure and an unwanted hysterectomy. You probably know what that is better than I am. I don't know what a hysterectomy is, and I'm sorry about that. But so it says, as explosive allegations were coming to light about immigrant women who say they've been subjected to unwanted hysterectomies and other gynecological procedures, one of those detainees was put on a plane back to her home country. So apparently this article goes on to speak about how there's so many different cases of this happening, like women that... And this happened in Georgia in one of the ICE...
So for the scientific definition, a hysterectomy is the removal of the uterus.
Oh, so basically like becoming unfertile, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, it talks about how various women reported a lot of procedures that were done to like prevent them from having kids. And apparently, like, you know, they denied everything, but there's been like a lot of different women that came about. Like it says Bingham is one of a growing number of immigrant women complaining about care they received while they were held at the privately operated Irwin County Detention Center in Georgia, United States. The fuck's up with that?
More corruption?
Why do you think there's such a backlash against against immigrants in general? Like I do understand it. Whenever this comes up, I do say it. You know, like, I understand that your country cannot accept people from everywhere because, for some, you know, that's just not... It would be cool if every country and would accept everybody and there would be no borders, but because of the way the world is, you cannot just accept everybody into your country. I get that. I understand that. I feel like there's a process that has to be done. But at the end of the day, you look at somebody and you perform a hysterectomy and you mutilate them, basically. Mm-hmm. Now, this is the kind of stuff that countries that you go to war against do. These are the third world countries, you know, there's countries in Africa that mutilate the genitalia of the women. This is dark shit. Like, they from a young age, you know, they get burned, they get, you know, I don't even want to get into it because I don't know everything about it, but, you know, countries that are not an example for America are doing the kind of things that not America, you know, certain people, certain groups in America are doing, you know.
Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily have a lot to say about this specific topic because there's just too many things that are unsure. Too many things I don't know. There's just too many factors.
No, I get it. I get it.
I don't have a strong opinion about it. Like, obviously, I'm really fucking pissed because if anybody did that to me, bro, if I was 22 and I got locked in a detainee, whatever,
yeah, place,
I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't have words for what's happening because I don't. It's unspeakable. Like, I'm speechless at the fact that this was actually happening. That against women's will, that they were going to that they're just taking away basically not their entire womanhood, but taking away something that is not theirs for the taking in any sense.
It says, you know, since then independent lawyers for several other women have come forward with similar allegations.
I don't understand why or how, in any way, shape, or form, somebody would think that was okay. Like, I don't know who the fuck said, yeah, go ahead, do that.
Because it's just messed up, and I feel like it represents
inhumane.
a bad... Yeah.
It's inhumane.
And I want to
give
say
somebody a procedure against their will, regardless of what it is. If it was you and you got a vasectomy,
yeah,
against your will,
it'd be fucking crazy.
It's inhumane. Everybody has rights to their own fucking body.
Yeah, I don't want to take away from this. Like, it's crazy that this woman had to go through that.
You don't need to be this close to the microphone.
I know. It's crazy that this woman had to go through that.
I'm speechless. It's inhumane.
It doesn't matter if it's an immigrant. If it like it would be like American,
matter.
any woman, man. Yeah, against their will. You know.
Americans are just pissed off at immigrants because they work harder than we do. That's all. They're just pissed off because immigrants came in, started doing the jobs that everybody else was doing too, and then they did it better. And they're like, oh shit, fuck those people. Like I said, back to where we talked about before, that everything is somebody else's fault.
Yeah.
We have this blame mentality where we can't take responsibility or take ownership for our own actions.
Yeah.
That everything that goes wrong in everybody's life, like Karen who loses her fucking shit at Chick-fil-A because her nuggets weren't in the bag, that's somebody else's fault. It's not her fault for being a bitch.
Yeah.
Obviously I'm just making up a story, but we have this mentality to blame everybody else, and it's the same. It's the same.
And this is like a small thing that I wanted to add because it makes so much sense with what you're saying. Like, we're blaming and we're like telling immigrants this and that. Mm-hmm. Well, Richard Nixon, the 37th president of the United States, he was a Republican president. And he was actually like in charge of... He basically passed a law or an act, I don't remember exactly what, that allowed so many people from Mexico to immigrate into the United States. He opened up the borders. A Republican president. People don't know that, the party switched and everything.
I was going to say, what year did the party switch?
Yeah, I think he served from like 69 to 74. But I'm not sure. He was also vice president or whatever, but I'm not sure, when this party switched. Anyways, my point is, from the early 70s to 2020, suddenly we're now going to close the doors. We're now not allowing anybody, I feel like you allowed so many, like the United States allowed so many people in during the 70s or whatever, and they all came in, and thank God, and that's how it should be. And right now, they're closing the borders, and I feel like it's a mistake.
I think it is too.
I feel like it really is a mistake, Again, I'm not for illegal immigration, whatever. I'm not for the way that illegal immigrants are being treated in cages either. But I do feel like United States is impossible to stay here right now. It's hard.
There's no reason to treat somebody from literally, if you go to Texas and the border of Mexico's
yeah,
bro, you treat somebody who lives 20 feet away from you just because they're on another side of a line. Yeah. You have to treat them like they're animals.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about a world that would have no borders. Now, it's a dream. It's a utopia, Marg. It's a something that would be called oh, you're young and naive and whatever. But I honestly believe that if there would be such thing as a world with no borders where everybody could go around... I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bother to make you bored. I do believe that if there would be a world where there would be no borders, then I do believe that everything would turn out a lot better, and everyone would be more loving, more kind, more compassionate, and everyone would know everybody. Because hate rises as a factor of fear, and fear is usually as a response to something we don't know. We see other cultures, we see other kinds of ways. You go to Africa, people do stuff differently. You go to America, people do stuff in a totally different manner, and we're afraid of differences and change. And that is mainly because of borders. It's so hard to go from country to country. I'm not saying live in it, but merely visiting another country sometimes requires you visas. And how fucking stupid does it sound that we are nothing compared against the earth, the planet? Take population is just a part of the earth. Earth is like gigantic, and somehow we've decided that we're gonna make the rules and divide up the countries and say, hey, you can walk this far. Like, we are being, especially during COVID, we're being told, hey, there's places on this earth that you're not allowed to go to. And like, who the fuck decided that? Like, I want to talk to whoever fucking got here first. If they told me that, then I'll listen. But like, you're like, yeah, you cannot fly, you cannot go to these places. What do you mean I cannot go to this place? Like,
the human race just got too entitled.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you cannot be in this place for more than 3 months. Why? Like,